everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn a very easy vegan and gluten-free no-bake chocolate granola brownie. So what you need essentially for this recipe is a blender or a food processor. To this, I'm going to go ahead and add some oat flour. So these are gluten-free rolled oats that I've pulsed in a blender before. You can also do this at this stage, but I've already gone ahead and done this, so it makes my blending easy. So I'm going to add that in. Some cacao powder, a little bit of vanilla. If you don't have this, you can remove it from the recipe. It's completely okay. It does add a little bit of great flavor. However, it's not a necessity. I often find vanilla is quite expensive, so if you want to avoid it completely, that works as well. It's completely okay. And lastly, I'm going to be adding a large pinch of sea salt flakes. So these are flakes that are much bigger in consistency and they have a nice salty flavor. This will be a great addition to this brownie because with the granola crunch on top and balancing out the sweetness at the bottom, overall it tastes really well. And finally, to bring this mixture together, I'm going to go ahead and add some dates. These have soaked in lukewarm water for about 10 to 15 minutes and I have pitted them. That means there's no seed inside. So I'm going to add that all around so that it blends evenly. And now I'm going to go ahead and blend. So as you can see, my mixture has come together in a nice sort of big size energy ball or laddu, and this is a good place for me to go ahead and add it to any mold of my choice. I'm going to be using a pre-cut silicone mold which has individual cavities, something like this. This will ensure I get even brownie pieces. You can also set it directly in a smaller bread mold or a square shape mold. All of these work really well. I like having individual brownie pieces. For me, having a big sweet tooth, this really helps with portion control. So I do recommend it if you are somebody who's like me. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and add this in. So taking out all this lovely mixture into a bowl. Now that my mixture is completely removed in a bowl, it's ready to go in the silicone mold. So I'm just going to take a few handfuls and fill it 3/4 of the way through. I want to make sure I have enough space for some chocolate and granola as well. That'll be our next step, which I'll show you after this. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and set it in any mold and leave it in the freezer to set after you finish. Now that my sort of brownies are ready, I'm going to go ahead and put it on a board like this. So I usually just use a chopping board or any other regular board. This helps me put it easier in the freezer. You can also switch this up with a tray. So I'm going to leave this to set while I go ahead and melt my chocolate. Now that my brownies are in the freezer, I'm going to go ahead and melt my chocolate. So I'm going to be using some chopped up vegan chocolate. You can choose any brand of your choice. I just have some locally available clean vegan chocolate. By clean, I mean the sweetener is either coconut sugar or jaggery, which I personally prefer. So I've just chopped this up into smaller pieces and I'm going to go ahead and add it to my double boiler. So how do you make your double boiler at home? Usually you take a pot of water below, which is filled 3/4 cup of the way. And on top of this, I would add a bowl and then switch on my gas or induction. You want to make sure the chocolate does not have direct contact with the heat, which is why you use a double boiler. It's much easier on the melting and it doesn't burn out the chocolate. So my chocolate has melted completely. I'm now going to go ahead and put it on top of my brownie squares before garnishing it finally with some granola. So my beautiful bars are ready to go in the freezer to set overnight. You want to set these overnight because that's how it'll really hold shape and come out evenly. You've seen how to make this vegan and gluten-free granola in one of my first few videos. If you haven't watched that already, please do. It really adds to the crunch element. You can choose to skip the granola and just add a mixture of crushed nuts. So this goes in and I can't wait to demold and show it to you. So my brownies have been in the freezer overnight and this is a good place for me to go ahead and demold them. So slowly I'm going to sort of take it off the edges. I can see the chocolate has completely firmed up. So take it off the edges and then go ahead and lightly take it out from the silicone mold. So my beautiful chocolate granola brownies are ready. Super easy to make. For everyone who keeps asking me, do they need an oven to make vegan desserts? Here's my solution for you. Please do try this recipe out and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you have any intolerance or food allergy, comment below so that I can come up with recipes to show you how you can eat. I love doing this. This is what I'm born to do. So comment, like, and subscribe.